Okay, I'm ready to place my sea oats and seagrass, and I've decided after looking at this that I'm going to move these back a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and put in some reference areas for my grasses. And this will be the top of these sand dunes. And these should be significantly smaller than what I'll do on the other side. Now I'm using this this sort of straggly white bristle brush, which has hairs that are spread out, and I can somewhat come up and start my sea oats and my seagrass. But this is going to come down a little bit. I have a mixture of Payne's Gray and my cadmium yellow medium. And you can add a touch of blue in that, especially for the distant ones. And I'm going to have some coming down. I'll just use this reference for that. You need to put a little bit of pressure on your brush, then come back and pull it up a little. Now over here, this is going to be significantly larger, but the sand's going to come up to the seagrass. Now I'm using a little bit of my medium. For one thing, I want this to dry faster. Just over a little bit. I don't know if you can see those fine little hairs that are being created with this brush. And I'm coming up, 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 up. This is going to be significantly thicker in here. And I'll have different shades of green. Then I'm going to have some more over here coming down. And I'll have various patches right in here. And these will be more defined as the painting goes along, and a lot of last minute details. But for now, I'm just trying to achieve placement. And these are going to be, as I said, significantly higher than these. Now I'm going to go back and work on my sand some more. And I'm switching now to my my soft bristle brush. And I can do this while the green is drying, but have to be careful not to go over the green. This area right here can stay a little bit streaked. but I want this to start getting a little more solid. Now, I mentioned in session 5 something about the light coming from this direction, and then I said this is overcast. Well, even though it's not bright, sunshiny day, there's still a location for the sun. So if we have to make decisions about places for highlighting, we use that as a guide. And actually this is the idea right here of sun, excuse me, not sun, but sand that has kind of piled up. And I'm going to begin filling in the sand pretty much all over. Then when I'm finished with the sea oats, I'll be coming back to add more sand and more highlights. You see what happens when I touch that wet paint? It picks it up, so you have to go back in the other direction to replace it, especially if you didn't mean for it to be there. I'm using my medium along with this soft brush because I want it to be smooth. And this is again where that whole notion of knowing how much pressure to put on your strokes and how much blending to do. And I'm not altogether sure that's something that can be taught. I think you just have to experiment and work with it. To give you some idea what I mean by that, I posted a photograph of a painting that I just finished, and the painting had a lot of Spanish moss in it. And I thought it looked okay until I posted it. And then I thought, oh, this is not good. So I'm going back to the drawing board with that. But it gave me an opportunity to see with different eyes by having it online. I'm going to start over here to create some footprints. Which amounts to messing up the sand. And this is the reason you have background color. The sand behind these sea oats is going to be darker, be a little bit more in shadow. As I move these sand dunes, I need to move this highlighted area. I don't think you can see what I'm doing here. There are many advantages to doing this in oils, but there are some disadvantages. But using the liquid medium, the paint will dry rather quickly, so I can come back to it within a couple of hours, and it'll pretty much be dry enough for me to work on it. Okay, so that's the preliminary part. Okay, well, I'm going to call it a session, and I shall return.